Hey everyone. Thanks for joining us for the next session of Fabric Data Days. My name is Anna. I'll be your producer for this session. I'm an event planner for Reactor, joining you from Redmond, Washington. Before we start, I do have some quick housekeeping. Please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We seek to provide a respectful environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, we ask that you please be mindful of your commentary, remain professional, and on topic. Keep an eye on that chat. We'll be dropping helpful links and checking for questions for our presenters and moderators to answer. Our session is being recorded. It will be available to view on demand right here on the Reactor channel. With that, I'd love to turn it over to our presenters for today. Thank you so much for joining.
Ho, ho, ho. We're getting to Christmas soon. Ho, ho.
Is that the Christmas man? No, it's not. Is it? Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
How are everyone? How is everyone? Ryan.
Hello. Oh, we are ready, and I see like a lot of people in the chat already, so they are in for a great time. I hope.
They are.
Yes. But before we get really started, let's hear about. I have a slide. There you go. Who are you?
Yeah. So I'm Santa. No, I'm not. My name is Johan. I'm Norwegian, but today I'm coming to you live from Seattle, not Redmond, as Anna did. And what about you?
What about me? Oh, yes. I'm Brian, and I come from you live from Denmark. But it's quite funny because, Johan, you actually live in Norway. So today we have a Scandinavian host all over the place.
Yes. We're to Scandinavian takeover.
Exactly. Scandinavian takeover.
Yeah.
And once you go Scandinavian, you'll never go back. So that's just, there you go.
Yep, that's just
but we are not the only ones. Behind the scenes, we have three amazing moderators. We have Ildar, we have Amit, and we have Vesa. And
let's say so Nordic, so we can say Nordic takeover. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. But the moderators, they are really doing a hard job answering all your questions. So be nice to them, and if your question doesn't flow through, they will answer it eventually, but because we have a lot of questions going on, I see already in the chat. So be nice to them, and a huge shout out to the three of them because they're doing a tremendous job helping us answering all your questions.
They are doing the hard work. We're just here for the beauty.
We're just here to chat.
Slides. Yeah, the pretty faces. Yeah.
Yeah. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. So
yeah.
So let's get started.
All right.
The Fabric Data Days. It is 50 days of data and AI, and there's a short link here, aka.ms/Fabric Data Days. But don't go there right now. Right now we are live, and you need to pay attention because in the chat you might see GIFs coming around. You might see things spreading around in the chat. So stay tuned, and we have a lot of experiences for you later on today in the next 60 or so minutes. Today is November 18th. Get started with Microsoft data certifications. We will jump into that in just a few seconds. Tomorrow, prepare for exam day, option 1. December 3, exam day, option 2. December 10, the student database contest finale. I'm there because I want to see what people can actually do. And then the day after, careers and data. What can we do with all this knowledge? Can we actually put this to work? Yes, you can. And again, a lot of short links here. Just go ahead and study them after this event because we have a lot of things going on for you. We got 30 seconds to talk about this slide. We have contents and challenges. We have exclusive swag if you do it. If you are a part of the top entries of these contents. We have the database content, we have the Power BI database content for students, and we also have the Fabric Data Days notebooks contents. I think this is the first, and I really look forward to see what ends up in the notebook contents, what people can get out of it. 1 minute quick. Get certified DP600. That's Power BI, mostly analytics part. DP700 data engineering parts. We will talk about those in the next 45 to 50 minutes. If you want to join a study group, then go to this short link, ak.ms/fdd/study group. You'll find a study group anywhere in the world. And commit to certify by December 31st. and you have a 100% discount code on your right-hand side for DB700 and DB600. And for PL300, DB900, what are the difference there? We will talk about those in just a minute. Also a 50% discount going on. And
but remember though,
yeah.
remember that you cannot, if you don't commit to certify by this December 31st, the 100% discount voucher will disappear.
That is correct. So we only have a month and a few days left.
Yeah, so get cracking.
Get cracking and just do it, because it's quite easy. It's just online, proctored, the webcam is on, and then you answer 50 questions, and then you get a score. Easy peasy.
Yep.
We also have instructor-led workshops with in a day initiative, both Fabric Analyst in a day and Real-Time Intelligence in a day. You can find the links here for next Fabric Analyst in a day and also next Real-Time Intelligence in a day. They are almost recurring every week, so you will be able to find an event almost every week on these links. They are both virtual and in person.
If you see this scrolling bar on the bottom here, it says the main sites. There's a link to that as well, which means that you can find all the information there if you missed the links in the screen. Exactly.
But let's get started with Microsoft Data Certifications. Johan, sorry.
Yes. So this is 50-day skill fest that we're doing now. We are on the 19th session of the Fabric Data Days today, which is quite amazing with all the different things going on. So in this session, we'll try to get you to understand the landscape of data certifications, and we will go through the different certification offers and the corresponding exams and the roles to which each exam aligns.
I'm really trying to click next. There you
go. Yeah, so what is a Microsoft certification? That's one of the things we'll cover today. We will talk about what the fundamentals exams are and why they could be a nice thing to do. And we'll talk about the different role-based exams and then try to help you to decide which exam is right for you.
Hey, I have, before we advance the slides, Johan, I have a question.
Yeah. Yep.
And perhaps a difficult one. How many certifications do you have?
Ooh.
Do you have the DP600?
No, I don't.
DP700?
The DP600? No, I don't have that either.
Then sign up for the 100% voucher, okay?
Oh yeah, I do. I've already signed up. Yeah.
Perfect. So if only one takes it, then that's you.
Probably yes.
Perfect.
But if only one takes it, I have a suspicion that the Pam, the moderator, is going to be, or the fabulous Pam, is going to be cross with me. Yes.
The fabulous Pam.
Yes.
If you haven't heard about her, just look her up. She's amazing.
Yeah, look in the chat. She's there.
She's in the chat. Yeah, exactly. So
yes.
Without further ado, next slide.
So this is important. If you want to learn more about how to take the exams and how to prepare for them, there is the two options for preparing for exam day. So there's one tomorrow, and there's one on December 3rd. And you see the link here at the bottom, and go register for those. Because we're just talking about what kind of exams you can take, not how to prepare for them.
Exactly. And those sessions are amazing because you can ask any questions you want and about the certifications, of course, and the exams, and you will have experts live answering all your questions about how to take it, how the process is, and all those kinds of things. So,
yep. Remember, we are live and interactive if you haven't noticed already. So pop into the chats if you haven't, and say hi, ask questions, and of course, the link to the free vouchers is pinned at the top. You don't have to ask that question again.
So where is the link to the vouchers, Johan?
It's pinned to the top of the chat.
So the link to the vouchers is pinned at the top of the chat. Okay, perfect. Now we said it 3 times. I hope people got it now. Or else just ask again and we will gladly send it out again. It's quite fun. Perfect.
Yeah.
So what is a Microsoft certification? Well, it's actually a twofold part because we have the applied skills. The applied skills is, with my own words, it's a targeted skill set that is tested around. It could be around real-time intelligence. It could be around lake houses. It could be around warehouses. It could be around anything inside Microsoft Fabric. Right now, we don't have that much, that many applied skills. I think we have 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5. And then we have the certifications. The certifications are the one where you get 50 questions, and those really shows your skills on a high level about, if we're talking about Fabric, on the analytical workload inside Fabric and the data engineering workload inside Fabric. Not that we only have 2 workloads, but Microsoft has divided the certification in 2 parts: analytics and engineering. And then based on the certification that you have or the needs that you have, we will talk about that later on. Then we will talk about, hey, what do I need to do, and why does it matter to take applied skills, and why does it matter to take the Microsoft certifications? With that said, the Microsoft certifications actually matter a bit more than the applied skills, because the applied skills does give you an official certification. It only gives you an entry in your Microsoft Learn transcript. Microsoft certification is actually widely acknowledged by employers and the market about, hey, if you have these certifications, you have the abilities to work with the services that you say you can. So if I were to prioritize, I would use the applied skills as my test exams. Not that they are, but as, hey, am I proficient enough to know the things that I need to know for the applied skills, and then do the Microsoft certification. This is not the official way to do it by Microsoft, but this is what I would do. And once you have the certifications, you can elevate your profile and share your knowledge, share your credentials, and share your skills across your professional network. And don't be mistaken, once you have these in your luggage, you will be ahead of the people who don't. So have it now, and right now until December 31, you get 100% discount. So we have 3 types of Microsoft certification. We have the fundamentals; those are all the ones ending with 900. Sorry. Then we have the specialty. These are the industry solutions. And last but not least, we have the role-based, where we have the technical skill set, where you have a specific test for real-time intelligence or Power BI or lake houses or warehouses or whatever we have in the
data engineer, analytical engineer, these kinds.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I don't know why we have some highlights here, but I think I just talked about them. So let's move forward and talk about the role-based the fundamentals certifications exams here. So the fundamentals are mostly the ones ending with 900. These are not in focus for today. And sorry, Johan, what is 900?
No, the 900s are the basics exams. So it shows you or teaches you enough to get a basic understanding of things. So you have DPA 900 or AZ 900 to get some fundamentals in. And while these can be a nice way to cover some basics, like the AZ 900 or the DP 900, gives you some really top level. I mean, it's not even a 100 level session, but it gives you some basic understanding. And the best thing about these exams is, if you haven't done the certification exam yet, the 900 exams are very good at teaching you how a Microsoft certification exam is being presented, what kind of questions you will get, what kind of responses, and what kind of demands the proctors will put on you when you're trying to do the exam from home, for instance. So it's a very good way of, if you're unsure of or a bit afraid of, okay, what will I meet when I do these exams? Take one of the 900 exams, because they're quite easy to get to, and again, they will warm you up. So it's a kind of a getting into the mood of a certification skills.
Yeah, I totally agree. As long as you have tried out the entire thing, just clicked around in the portal, then you should be good to go.
Yeah.
I think we have one more question. Is the DP100, is that for me? Should I take it?
Yeah, again, if you're new to certification exams, specifically from Microsoft, or you're new to data, or new to Azure, so you might have done a lot of on-prem, but you're a bit unsure of all the different, what is the VNet, what role is Entry have to do with Terraform or something, then these exams might be for you. As I said, it's a very good way of getting into the certification pathways.
Yeah, exactly, and it also gives you the acknowledgement in order, because the online proctoring version of these exams are a special setting, and they are also good training to get started on taking the big ones. Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, and so we got a question here that if you can give some more suggestions on how to develop fundamental data analytics skills and some other resources to practice further before getting any certifications. Well, it's, for one thing, is Microsoft Learn is a really, really great portal.
Oh yes.
And if you go in there, you find the certifications and you find the learning pathways, they will put you on the track of what you need to learn, what you need to study. Some of them will come with free environments where you can test. Other places you will probably have to sign up for the Fabric trial license or the Power BI license or something like that, which can sometimes be a bit hard if you're using either a Gmail account, which is not possible with Power BI, or you're using your work account, which is not maybe allowed by your IT admins at work because they lock things down. So getting these things into place, normally it's try to create something that is not Gmail or Outlook.com or similar, but another domain. You will be able to sign up because those are basically the only ones that are filtered. But don't tell Microsoft about that.
There's also the below the study guides. There are these. I think it's sometimes you see 8 links, sometimes you see 5 links, sometimes you see 3 links of, hey, you can learn more here. And then they actually have links. Microsoft are linking to external sources like blog posts by MVPs, like books that you can read, like certification guides, and so forth. So
yeah, and there are also these Azure immersion workshops and these things that are normally hosted by Microsoft in your country,
yes.
where you are, and they will also then give you a VM and things to try out. So that's another way to try to get things in, or these Fabric in the day or real-time intelligence in the day kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see what the next one is.
Yeah, the role-based exams.
The role-based certifications exams. Okay, so the role-based certifications exams. Let's start on the top. We have these 4 of them. One is retired. The former DP203 is the Azure Data Engineer, and that was focused on Synapse, I guess, if I remember it correctly. Yep. And all the things around Synapse, of course, also Power BI, but mostly Synapse. And now we have 3 remaining. We have the PL300, the Power BI Data Analyst, focusing solemnly on Power BI. And we have the DB600, which is Fabric Analytics Engineer, so Power BI and the Fabric stuff and workloads around analytics. And the DB700, Fabric Data Engineer, where we are solemnly looking at Fabric and how the data engineer should work and the tools they have and how to solve problems and tasks using these tools. And don't be mistaken, DB700, I'm quite frank here, it's a beast. The questions are all over the place, all over Fabric, and even the tiniest corners you haven't played with in Fabric, we have a question for you on DB700. So be prepared that DB700 is a bit tougher than PL300 and DP600. Not that I say that those 2 are easy, just DB700 is a notch up on the level of questions and how we try to test your knowledge around the entire platform.
That is basically because it is the newest one, and data engineering is a very big role. So of course, and Fabric is so huge, so it has to cover everything. Yeah.
And it's only growing. I just saw on the chat that the SQL databases went GA in Fabric today at the keynote. So perfect.
Yep.
So let's dive into PL300 just a bit. The PL300 is solemnly looking at Power BI, and now Power BI is not only desktop, because Power BI went GA for the web experience in FabCon Vienna. So Power BI is now also the web experience. You can get questions on the web experience, not only the Power BI desktop experience. Even though they are the same, some of the menus, some of the items are perhaps different places when you compare those two. But it will test you for preparing data, for modeling your data, visualize and analyze your data, and also manage and secure Power BI, because Power BI is not only about the blings and the colors. It's also about, hey, the sales people should only have access to sales data, the HR people should only have access to HR data, and so forth. So we also need to secure that. And don't be mistaken, we have Power BI questions for you. We also have Power Query questions for you and DAX. So it's not only about clicking around in the application, it's also about writing code and optimizing that code to a more efficient way of doing it. So PL300, Power BI all over the place, both online and on desktop. And it also challenges you to understand how can you identify your business requirements. Because some of the questions are quite long in the stem. So this is the situation, this is what you need to do, and then you have the question. And then based on what you know about that situation, you need to answer that question. A small hint here is when you answer questions on the exams is to read the entire question. That is the entire knowledge you need to know to answer that question.
Yeah, that's a very basic recommendation for any exam. Yeah, read everything.
Yeah, because many candidates, they think, hey, I also know this. This could also be an option. This could also be an option. This could also be an option. Sure, but all the things you need to know to answer the question is in the STEM. So take that into account and just discard whatever ideas you have of this could also be a solution or this could also be the environment. It is not. It is in the STEM. The biggest hint here. So in the PL300, of course, we're going to ask about prepare data using Power BI, both get data and prepare it and clean it and transform it, modeling it, design star schemas, build calculations using DAX, create reports, enhance these reports for faster querying and also for usability, identify patterns and trends, how are these reports being used, how can I optimize it, and last but not least, manage and secure your Power BI, how can I work with my workspaces and my assets / items, and how can I begin to share them in a good governed manner, talking solemnly about Power BI, not pipelines, not notebooks, not data flows, Power BI and Power BI in this. The study guide, aka.ms/pl300/study guide, will give you all you need to know about this PL300. Is this for you? Well, it could be if you are a data analyst and you want to prove your skills on Power BI, and if you just love Power BI. Who doesn't love Power BI, right? Power BI is just the best because it works all over the place. And now with the full web experience, it also works on Macintosh.
Mac. Yes,
Mac.
for me.
I'm that old, so I pronounce it Macintosh. Sorry, Mac. And it could also be a stepstone to walk into the DP600 certification in the future. So there's a recap, PL300/prepare, and then you're good to go to learn all about how to get that. But Johan, what about DP600?
Well, you see, this 600, that is the Fabric Analytics Engineer. And Analytics Engineer is one of these titles that has popped up just a couple of years ago. So it's an intermediate exam, and it's basically trying to cover 3 different skill areas, which are then presented as the full analytics engineering lifecycle in Microsoft. So maintain a data analytics solution, what's good about reliability, governance, and process. So you want to think about preparing your data. So that's nearly half of the exam. So this is where you can go beyond the Power Query. You will work with data factory pipelines, data flows Gen 2, use some Spark to ingest and transform. You will also need to know how to query and analyze data using SQL, KQL, and DAX. And at last, you need to implement and manage semantic models. So together, all these areas are the evolution from being just a Power BI report author to being an analytical engineer, which can design, build, and maintain complex end-to-end solutions in Fabric. So on a scale from, say, 1 to 100, you have 1 to 60 will be kind of data engineering, and 40 to 100 will be Power BI. And then analytical engineer will be somewhere from, say, 35, 40 and onwards up to 100. So this is, yeah, it's covering a lot more of the basics than just being using Power BI itself. So it's structured around 3 main skill areas. So yeah, and maintaining then, which is the biggest part of the exam, is roughly half, is data preparation. So Power Query, Data Factory, KQL, DAX, and so on. And then you have to test or prove rather how to implement and manage semantic models, and then design, build, then optimize them for direct lake, because that's new or new from Fabric, and how to understand how to use direct lake versus import mode versus direct query, and all of this together is basically covering what you need to think about if you want to become an analytical engineer.
There's a question on the chat. Perhaps you can answer this, or we can answer this in collaboration. It is from Aysel Bahar. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly. It is like 14 minutes ago. But the question is, I want to do both DP 600 and DP 700 and book my exams. I already have the PL 300 certification. I wanted to ask what percentage they have in overlap. So what's the overlap between PL 300 and DP 600? Do you have any guess? Because I don't think we have an official statement there.
No, I don't think we do. I think it's around about 30 to 40%. Again, the thing is, the DP600 is taking you beyond your Power Query and DAX. It takes you to all the different things. So at least 60% will be Fabric side and not covered in DP or PL300. And then again, on the DP700, you will cover everything else, which will probably again be roughly 60% unknown or not covered in the other exams.
Yes, and I totally agree, because DP600 also introduces or tests your ability to write SQL, to write custom query language, and to write more advanced DAX than the PL300 test. So
yeah, and they will test you on that. You have to write the code.
Oh yeah. So, but good question. Keep them coming. All the questions. We will get questions broadcasted to us for us to read out.
We do have a couple of more questions that are actually quite a fit in here. So we had one, AI tricky. Which exam is best for beginners to understand everything? And that's the DP 900s.
All the 900 exams, yes.
Yeah, the DP 900 will be the data exam to go for, because again, it's touching on everything on a high level to understand. And then you can dive deep into the different areas to the roles-based exams afterwards. Yeah, exactly. And then there's the AI Skill Studio. I'm not feeling confident enough to take the PL300 now at 50% discount. How should I approach and gain confidence? Ooh. Which is also a very good question, because we have the study guides and we have the learning pathways, or they're not called learning pathways. They're called, what's it called again, right?
They're calling, I think it's path, learning path, I guess.
Learning path, yeah, because pathway, I'm here for Past Data Community Summit in Seattle, and they have learning pathways, so I mixed these two up, sorry. But yeah, so go check out the study guides, go through the learning paths, and they will basically give you everything you need to feel confident.
Exactly.
And unlike me, if you're not on the Mac like I am, download the Power BI desktop solution that lets you at least start to familiarize yourself with all the different things on PL300. And then if you can get the trial license for Power BI service, do that. But at least you can play around in the desktop to get familiarized with everything.
Yeah, but I think there are two more things, very, very important things that you need to know, whatever exams you want to take. Historically, the exams from Microsoft were, you need to know this by heart, and then we have questions about what parameters do we have for this function, blah, blah, blah. The more modern exams and the more modern questions, you can't read your way through them. You need to have your hands-on experience with the tools. It is not enough to read the learn. It's not enough to read the certification guides. It's not enough to read the blogs. You need hands-on experience with the tools. So play around with it. Follow some of the guides from amazing MVPs we have around the world sharing their knowledge. Follow the guides from Microsoft Learn. Watch the YouTube videos. Follow this series of videos to get really, really prepared. And if you have an employer, I very, very often see that the employer will also support your in a monetary way by paying for this exam. So you have the 50% discount. If you are brave enough, I hope you are, go ahead and use that to test your skills and find out where you need to learn more. And then go on and ask your employer, hey, would you support me with, I can't remember the fee for the certification, and then go ahead and take it again. We have many ways to prepare yourself to get through this. But also know that the first time you do it, you are in a new setting. The environment is different. I failed my first exam big time because a new setting. What do I do? Just know that it is something new, and I've also seen people just acing it for the first time. So we are different, all of us. So just prepare yourself.
I think one of the things here, again, you mentioned it a bit earlier, Brian, the fact that at least when you're a bit older and gray-haired, or at least have done some work, you have a set of understanding of how things can be done. Because a solution can be done and implemented in many ways. But what the exam can't do is exactly cover every single way of things are being handled. So they will ask you for a specific solution. And that's mostly that will be the best practices and the way that Microsoft wants you to use their tools. And read the questions, because that will guide you towards that solution. Don't think that you know it and just skip it. Because I've also failed certifications because of that reason.
Oh yes.
Do it the way they want you to, and not all the different other ways that are possible. Because
And if you, as AI Skills Studio here, has these questions, join the session tomorrow where you can ask all the questions about this. Hey, how do I prepare? How is the session? What about my webcam? Do I need a webcam? How about, can I do multiple screens? Ask those questions tomorrow, because we have 2 experts live answering all your questions about how the exam actually runs and are being executed. So,
and lots of moderators answer your question live in chat as well. So that's
I see that. So good luck, moderators. But let's see the next slide. I think we are going to talk about the skills in depth. So, Johan.
So making sure that you cover all the different areas here. So roughly 25 to 30% is about implementing security, governance, maintenance of the analytics development lifecycle. Then you have roughly half the skills is around preparing data, how to get that data, how to transform it, and then querying and analyzing. And again, you need to have hands-on, you need to code.
Yes.
And then finally, implementing and managing semantic models. So how to design them, how to build them, and how to optimize them for enterprise scale. Because yes, you can get a semantic model up and running quite easily, but it will probably, when you start loading it with more data than a couple of hundred rows, it will take down your server. I've seen that. So making sure that optimization is good.
Exactly.
Look for the Roche maxim, Matthew Roche maxim, to learn more about how to do that properly.
Yes.
So is the DP600 the exam for you? Well, are you already an advanced analyst? Are you looking to moving from data analytics or data analyst to an analytical engineer in your career? So that means moving a bit further back in the tech stack rather than in being in the front. Are you using Fabric? Then DP600 might be for you. And go to the study guide, aka.ms/dp600/prepare, to start preparing for that exam and see if it's the fit for you.
Yeah, and just a tiny highlight. In that link, you might find a very, very good book to read and buy. The exam prep guide. Just a small hint there. So DP700. So we talked about DP600, the analytics engineer, and before that we talked about the Power BI data analyst. Let's talk about the data engineering inside Microsoft Fabric, and this is where the DP700 has its focus. First of all, it is still an intermediate level. We still have 2 stars, and it is built for the existing data engineers who want to prove their knowledge and their skills in Microsoft Fabric. You should be a subject matter expert on loading patterns, because in the data engineering, we are not talking about not that much about how does this stacks work, but we are talking about how can I optimize this stacks code to be better, more performant. How can I orchestrate my data ingestion processes? How can I load my data more efficiently? How can I do delta loading? How can I do tumbling windows? All those kind of crazy buzzwords that you need to know. But it also also includes how can I build a good governed analytical solution inside Microsoft Fabric with all the items in all the workspaces. Do I need folders? How do I manage my semantic models? How do I monitor it? How do I know who is doing what? And how do I know which tool to use when the business approaches me with a problem? So perhaps they have a problem with, hey, I have IoT devices, or hey, I have an ERP system, or hey, I have a CRM system. How do I ingest that? Then you need to know how to answer those questions and how to select the items, the best fit items for that specific scenario. This is also the questions you'll be presented to. So the stems are a bit longer than you will see in DP600, the complexity of the questions are a notch up, because we're talking about everything inside Microsoft Fabric, not only Power BI, but pipelines, notebooks, real-time intelligence, whatever you have inside Microsoft Fabric. So
yeah, there's not a lot of Power BI in there. There's maintaining and securing.
Oh yeah,
governance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and governance in Power BI is it's not for me. I'm having trouble learning that. So but it is a part of the question. So it's you need to learn it, but you also need to know other languages like PySpark, Python, Scala, whatever.
You don't need to learn Scala.
No, but
no,
you're right.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
All right.
Cool. Python, SQL, KQL, basically.
Yes, exactly. And some PySQL also.
Yeah. For the questions, at least. But the DP600 skills it also has a study guide, around 1/3 for each of the sections. In the first one, we are talking about governance, security, orchestration. How do we do that the best? And orchestration is also about how can I, for instance, run multiple notebooks in parallel. That could be one of the questions. Then we need to talk about ingest and transform data. We are still talking about loading data from sources, but also how can I implement load patterns like delta loading, full loading, bulk loading, whatever kind of loading you have. Also streaming data, that's also a loading pattern. How do I ingest and transform that? And then we can go all ballistic on the different approaches to transform streaming data and batch data. And there's a huge difference in services and opportunities there, and how to do it, how to implement it. And last but not least, monitor and optimize the solutions you have in the entire Fabric space. So monitor the items, identify and resolve the errors. You have questions about, hey, you get this error. How can I find the specific error on this specific execution of the notebook? So a small hint there, know how to find that. And also you'll get presented with code, and then the question will be, how can you optimize this because the business has this problem with something. So we are talking about a more detailed, a more wholesome question bank around Microsoft Fabric, not only analytics or engineering, but the entire thing about Microsoft Fabric. However, I see there's somebody who's saying that you're scaring DP700 people. But yeah, it's
not my intent.
It's a good point. Yeah.
This is not my intent at all. I just want to give you the truth that DP700 it is a notch up compared to DP600. It is not impossible at all. It's just I'm just trying to tell you that, hey, DP700 can ask you questions in all the corners of Microsoft Fabric. Yes, it is a beast. And it is a good credential to have in your back pocket to show to your clients or your customer or your employer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yes, there is a lot of things to learn, but it is doable. But you need to have experience. You need to have hands-on experience. But when you get it, it is an exam that you can really be proud of.
Yeah, exactly. And given that, then we got a question from Jason Joseph. Thinking of doing the PL 300 exam. I am currently a data analyst, thinking of transitioning to business analyst in the future. Would this certificate still be relevant and useful to a business analyst? I completely think so, because if you know how the data engineering works, then you can also help the business understand and transform what the business wants back to the engineering team. So I would totally say yes. All the certificates from what we're talking about today could be a good candidate for a business analyst, even though you might not do the heavy lifting on the coding. But if you know how Fabric works, then you can help the business understand how they can work with Fabric.
Yep. There was also one called Tejeshwar 16. Is this useful for students to want to learn this? I think he's asking about any of these exams. And for students, yes, because at least in my experience, lots of students don't learn exactly what the businesses need. They learn more of the basic skills, which means that, yes, for actually when being prepared when you're coming into the workplace after you graduate, if you want to be more on the back end, if you like Python, if you like being in the back end, the data engineering path might be a good fit, but it will be hard as a student to take that exam. But the DP 900 and at least going into Power BI part, so PL 300, will be good exams to take as a student.
Yeah, I totally agree. And this gives us the stepstone into, is the DP 700 exam for you? It is if you are currently a data engineer working in Fabric or in Synapse and you want to transition to Fabric, or you are looking to become a data engineer. If you are perhaps already an Azure Data certified Azure Data Engineer, the DP203, which is now retired, you still have it on your transcript, but it is retired. So you want to transition into Fabric, then DP100 is exactly the exam to go to. And just if you're using Fabric and you want to know the entire shebang about Fabric, then DP100 is the way to go. The exam prep guide and the collection aka.ms/dp700/prepare is your go-to guide to find everything around this exam. So which one is right for you? And I will, excuse me for 1 second because I have to sneeze. So Johan, take over for 1 second.
Yeah, all right. So deciding which exam is right for you. That was a very good exit stage left, Brian. And of course, I need to get that next slide up.
Sure, it comes right.
Yeah. So which exam is right for you? Well, and I'm a consultant, so the favorite question or the favorite answer I have to any question is, it depends. And I do like this discussion, look very wise. But the point is, yes, it is up to you. What skills do you have? Where do you see yourself? What kind of role do you want to transition into? Are you happy doing front end? I couldn't make a good report to save my life, so I'll stay in the back. I don't understand how these people do all this transforming. I can do Power Query and I can do DAX, but my main skill area is to visualize and get stories out of data. Okay, then stay in 300. If you want to do data engineering and you have some experience under your belt, it's not a starter exam. So then DP 700 might be a thing. So thinking about where you want to go, thinking about what role you feel comfortable in, or what role are you going to transition into? That's what points you to the right one.
Yes,
and as Brian has mentioned, sorry, you can go on.
It's also important to know that you don't have to take both or all three of them. It is quite fine just to have one and be the world's gifted expert on that specific area. Do PL 300, be an expert on Power BI, or do PL 600 and be an expert on how to do analytics inside Microsoft Fabric, or just do DP 700 and be the go-to expert in the community or your organization on how does Fabric work for data engineers. You don't have to take all three of them, even though you might meet MVPs and other community people out there who just, I have 8,000 certificates. Well, good for you. I'm just trying to tell you, hey, focus on what gives you the thrills in your everyday work and go there. You might get, well, now I do the DB300, I want more. Can I get more? Yes, then you can transition into Fabric, do DB600 or DB700. But just, it's quite fine just to have one. You don't need 3 of them. But of course, we're also here to try to lure you into the funnel of, hey, take one more exam, and then the day after take just one more exam. Then you have all 3 of them by magic. So yes.
Join the dark side, the people who want to learn things all the time.
Yes. Just like life.
Because
right?
that's, yes, always learn something.
Yes. And if you still need help, join for tomorrow and ask, hey, what about this path? Does that also work? And when I'm joining the PL300 exam, how does that work? Then ask the questions there. But also remember that we have a huge amount of community blogs, videos, content that you can find. You will find some of them on Microsoft Learn. You will find some of them on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn a lot and with other people. You will find them on the Fabric community, where we both have blogs. You can ask questions, you can get answers. And don't be shy to ask questions in the Fabric community, because we are a lot of people trying to help you understand and answer those questions for you. Engage in forums. The Fabric subreddit it's almost boiling all the time with questions and people being there, commenting and helping each other. Or if you can, join a local user group. We have user groups all around the world, perhaps also one in your city or close to you. And if you can't join them physically, join them virtually. There isn't 1 week where we don't have 5 or 6 virtual user group meetings where you can just pop in on Teams, listen up, ask a question, learn something, and it's
yeah.
just
And
amazing.
even though they say that I help in the Fabric Explorer Norway user group, it's not just for Norwegians. We speak in English, and everyone is welcome, as long as you can accept the Norwegian time zone, which is when the events are being held. But it doesn't really matter.
No, exactly. So do we have any amazing questions in the chat that we should answer? Because let's see.
Yeah, so there's one, Swadin Biswalt, sorry. As a beginner, my skill set is Excel, and I'm interested in a data analyst role. So what is for me? Well, if you're coming from Excel and you want to be a data analyst, I would say the PL300.
Oh yes,
you can always start off with the DP900 again to get the basic high-level overview of everything that the data analyst role or the Microsoft Data roles can give you. But the PL300 will be my recommendation.
I totally agree. Start with DB900 and then perhaps find your way into PL300, and you might get a taste for more, and then you can transition into the DB600. So yeah, that would be a typical path for you to take. Just keep coming with questions, because we love them, and the more questions we can take here live, the more questions the moderators don't have to answer. So
yeah, I saw one a bit earlier that we missed. Midnight Machine. I'm a college student and I'm aiming to become a data analyst. So can you tell me which certificate holds the most importance as we compare PL300 or DP900 or DP700?
Most important certification. Okay, well, let's dive into the data analyst part, because data analyst, then we are in either PL300 or in DP600, because data engineering is DP700. So we are either on PL300 and DP600. This says DP900. I guess the question is DP600, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Midnight Machine. But PL300 is solemnly Power BI. No Fabric, Power BI only. DP600 is analysts using both Fabric and Power BI. So if you want to be a data analyst and an expert in Power BI only, then PL300 is your way to go. If you want to be a data analyst on Power BI inside Microsoft Fabric, then DP600 is the way to go.
Yeah, but the thing is, the 600 is more of an analytical engineering role, so it tends to cover more of the automation and the governance on ingesting data. If you're not on that side, if you're not on the engineering side, PL300.
Exactly.
Like,
I agree.
My 2 cents.
Yes, I agree. So, yes, do we have more questions?
Yeah, let's see now. There was one called, there it was, Daydreamer XYZZ. Hi, Brightlock. As PL300, DP600, DP700 all have certifications levels at intermediate. So could you please tell the prerequisites for all these certifications with level as beginner?
Yes. This is addressed to me, but I think both Johan and I can answer this. All the 900 exams are the beginner, the introductory exams. DP 900 for data platform, AI 900 for AI, so forth, so forth. But in this setting that we have today, I would say DP 900 is the beginner exam to get started with, and it will also cover. It will try to cover everything, but on a high level scale. Don't be frightened about it. It is quite easy to come around. You still need to study. You still need to do your hands-on playing around with the portal. But it is the beginner entry of data platform certifications. Yes.
Then we had Aysel Bahar. Maybe clarifying the difference between data analyst and data engineer might help some students.
Yes. Data engineering, if we want to put images to it, then data engineering is moving data from A to B. And then we do that in the most difficult way possible. Data analyst is putting the boxes in beautiful places and make that happen in the most effective way. I'm sorry for this comparison, but I'm just trying to demystify that data engineering is moving data from A to B and transforming it and making a data model out of it and making it good enough and making it perform, all that kind of stuff, and also have a good governance around it. Whereas the data analyst is putting the boxes in the right places to have it look nice and do it in the right way, and also to have only that Johan can see the blue boxes and I can only see the red boxes. So data analyst is more of the it is not a code first approach. It is more of a UI first approach. Do I have a UI I can click into with my mouse and then I can transform the data, then I can visualize it in Power BI? Whereas data engineering is more, it is not solely code first, but it is more of a code first approach, because we have PySpark, we have SQL, we have KQL, we have DAX, we have Power Query. So yeah, that's my approach. What do you think, Johan?
Yeah. Well, I'd add on top of that, again, it's very much a black and white thing, and which it never is. But
yeah.
Say put a data engineer is maybe more of an introvert, somebody who doesn't normally talk a lot to business users, who do their things in their codes. They like dark mode. For some reason. Whereas data analyst is more of the extrovert, more the person who can talk to the business users, understand their dialect, understand what they need, and put their needs into code, or into a way that both the data engineers understand what you as a data analyst need to deliver the KPIs, to deliver the visualizations. So the business analyst or the data analyst has a lot more user-oriented focus, outward focus, whereas the data engineers are more back-end. So that at least is the way I see it in many projects, that people use a data analyst as we introverts push the extroverts in front of us. Yeah.
I just integrate my day by saying that data engineers love dark mode. That's enough. That's enough for me. I love it. I love it. So there's a lot of questions going on, and just keep it coming. The moderators are doing whatever they can to answer your questions. Should we take the last one and then go forward with the slides? The user GW7PC6IO1I, currently completing a master in big data technologies. I'm considering DP300 and DP700. What's your advice? Should I do DP600 before 700? I think it's a typo about the 300. I think
the PL300. I mean, DP900, PL300, DP600. Yes, it's well, the advice. I mean, if you're doing a master's, I think you're probably also then doing a lot of Spark, so PySpark, SQL, I hope.
Yes.
But again, 700 is more of an experienced certification, so you need some experience, some hands-on. It depends on exactly what are you learning, how are your projects being delivered inside your master, I think.
Yeah, and try to look for what gives you the spark in your everyday work. While you're doing your masters, what kind of task do you do that just burns the hours and you don't notice it and you don't see it on the clock? And what tasks are not running as fast as you think they should or as you wish they were? They are not motivating you. So the first ones is actually should give you a hint on in which direction you should go. Should you do the data analyst part, or should you love dark mode and do data engineering part? So I would look into your gut feeling on what kind of task just burns the hours and you can't follow along. Go there, either DB600 or DB700. That's my take.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, sure.
So should we take that final question, or should we just pop to the slides? There is
let's take that one.
SPNR 3239. Yes. What is the fundamental difference between the role of an analytics engineer and a data engineer? And we've basically covered it already, but we can.
Dark mode.
Yeah, dark mode. Yes. No, it's an analytical engineer is focused front end to pipeline. So say covering a bit of the dark mode part, but also talking to users. Whereas the data engineering role is completely back-end. They don't think about data models apart from governance, or the Power BI reports apart from governance. Whereas an analytical engineer will try to, they might be data analysts that also want to do some more back-end stuff, but they might also be people who are a bit more comfortable with talking with users, but prefer to just think engineering. And so repeatable tasks, automate things, these kind of things.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's move forward because we are running out of time here. What's next in Microsoft Fabric Data Days? Well, tomorrow is the first session on this group of sessions where you can ask all the questions about, hey, how can I prepare for my exam? Tomorrow, the same channel, same time. I just asked our crew behind the scenes who is online, so you can get an idea of who will be there. I know without.
I think it's the Finnish dudes tomorrow. Oskari and Aleksi Partanen.
Okay, perfect. So yeah. You are well supported by these two people tomorrow, Oskari and Aleksi. They will be brilliant in answering all your questions for tomorrow's how do I actually get the exams. Book that.
I will be hiding as a moderator as well. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Book that session on this link. We still have a few available online seats, even though that sounds like, well, do I have a limit on online? No, we don't. It was just a joke. Book that now and then be ready for tomorrow and ask all your questions. If you missed that, you have a second option on December 3rd. That's the same session. With different people, and you can ask the same questions all over again. And if you want to ask the same question twice, join both sessions. Go ahead.
If you are a sucker for punishment when it comes to time zones, because it's 3 p.m. Pacific time on December 3rd, whereas it's 8 a.m. Pacific time.
If you never sleep, do both. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So, with that said, today is November 18. We just went through how to get started with data certifications. Tomorrow is prepare for the exam day. December 3rd, the same. And then we have, I want to be there for December 10, the Student Database Conference Finale. I want to be there. And then on December 11, how can I work with all these certifications? Do they really mean something? Do they really matter in the market? And just not to give everything away, they do. But join December 11.
Yes. Yeah.
With that said, the last slide, not the last slide for today, but the last slide where we'll show you all the discount vouchers. It is also, where was the discount vouchers, Johan?
I think they were pinned on the top of the chat. Yes.
Perfect. Discount vouchers in the top of the chat. They are pinned. You can ask for them, but they're also here on the slides. So join the user group, study group, if you want to prepare with other people and you don't and you can't find one locally next to you. Join this and join the free instructor-led hands-on workshop, both Fabric Analyst in a day and Real-Time Intelligence in a day. And if you missed any of the slides that we showed you today and anything of the content, aka.ms/Fabric Data Days is your way to go. Johan, this 16 minutes has been amazing.
It's because of you, only because of you. And all the people online asking all these fabulous questions. It's fantastic. I really hope people get into the certifications and take those exams, and I wish you good luck.
Yeah, and thank you for attending, everyone. I see the chat is still burning with questions. Thank you for the moderators. Thank you for the backend tech supporters, and have a great evening, day, morning, wherever you are in the world. Have fun.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all for joining, and thanks again to our speakers. This session is a part of a series. To register for future shows and watch past episodes on demand, you can follow the link on the screen or in the chat. We're always looking to improve our sessions and your experience. If you have any feedback for us, we would love to hear what you have to say. You can find that link on the screen or in the chat. And we'll see you at the next one.